Well, let's begin with the crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, which has taken another dimension. Today, the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt in Rivers State today nullified all primaries conducted by both factions of the APC in Rivers State. The court judgment also restrains INEC from presenting Mr. Tonye Cole and Magnus Abe and others as candidates in the 2019 elections in Rivers State. Abe emerged candidate of the APC in a parallel primary, but the national leadership of the party submitted Tonye Cole's name as its candidate, insisting he emerged from the primary conducted by the party. Mr. Abe's faction had approached the Supreme Court over the appeal court ruling validating the congresses of the APC in Rivers State. The Supreme Court, however, invalidated the ruling of the appeal court and ordered the parties to return to a lower court.
We will take a look at the judgment and discuss with our clients, for we see a line of distinction, which is in consonance with the decision of the Supreme Court.
When a judgment is delivered, you have to look at it and decide whether you're going to appeal against it or you're going to abandon it. But this being a political judgment, where interests of several persons are at stake, we are going to test it at the Court of Appeal.
It is gratifying to note that the court, after looking at all the facts, all the arguments, and interpreted all the provisions of the law, they came to that conclusion that the All Progressives Congress did not comply with the requirements of the Electoral Act.
We'll come back to that in a moment to get some legal perspectives. Where does the APC's fate in this election lie? So we get some legal perspective on the matter. But let's go to our major story of the day. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially presented a consolidated voter register for the 2019 general election to all political parties in the country. INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, gave out the number of registered voters to be 84,044,084. The release of the list is part of the processes on INEC schedule for election, and it is coming less than 40 days to the general elections. The presidential election is scheduled to hold on Saturday, the 16th of February, 2019, alongside the National Assembly elections, while the governorship election and state houses of assembly elections are scheduled for Saturday, March the 2nd, 2019.
The final register for the 2019 general elections stands at 84,004,084 voters. Similarly, the Commission has printed and delivered the permanent voters' cards to the states for collection by registered voters.
Tonight, we'll give you some understanding. We'll analyze the figures. We'll give you perspectives on what this means for our election. Don't forget, if we look into that figure, you will discover that 51% of the 84 million registered voters presently are between the ages of 18 and 35. What does this mean altogether? How many people are women in this, and how many of them are men? What does this mean in the entirety? My partner tonight on the program from Akure, the capital of Ondo State, is the National Coordinator of Election Monitor, Mr. Abiodun Ajijola. And from our Abuja studio is the National Chairman of the ADC and the presidential candidate, Alhaji Yabagi Sani. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. So let's begin with Alhaji Yabagi Sani. What does this mean? What are your reactions when INEC released these numbers, different from the 68 million voters who voted in 2000 and registered in 2015? From the announcement of INEC today, what is the reaction of the political parties today, especially that of your political party?
Well, first of all, we would like to commend the efforts of the INEC, because it has shown that Nigerians have keyed into the political process, and that the regulators, which is the INEC, has done a very good job. What remains is how does the process itself get to the conclusion, which means electing the president and the governors and the other participants, that is the National Assembly and also the House of Assembly members. The register itself, it's like I said, it's a step in the right direction. And the other things that the chairman told us confirms that, personally, my own assessment of the INEC that we have today, that yes, we have a body that is ready, that is serious, that is aware of the responsibility put on their shoulders, the historical responsibility put on their shoulders. But the other aspect of it that worries one is the desperation of some of the players in the game, and the kind of, as a matter of fact, posture of particularly APC, that as if they own INEC. Yes, the chairman told us that they don't have any political party, but there's a political party that is trying to demonstrate or is showing that they own INEC. So that itself is the danger that I think Nigerians must be very alert to ensure that this process is not truncated or it's not in any way shortchanged. Because I have personal relationships with some of the INEC staff. I've known them for a long time, and I can vouch for their integrity. But the fact, like I said, is the actions and the way, the manner that some of the parties, particularly the two dominant parties, have shown as if they own this process, that as if other parties are not of any consequence. And I want to tell Nigerians that Nigeria is not about only two parties, which is what INEC has said. It says all political parties are equal as far in the eyes of the law, and they want to respect that, that position. That parties like Action Democratic Party, we should be given our due respect, our position in the scheme of things.
Okay.
So I want to commend INEC, like I've said. Okay. And I want to also.
All right. I just want us to put some analysis to some of the figures released by INEC. I'm now being joined by Mr. G.T. Ogunye, a lawyer. Thank you so much for coming on the program today. There's different perspectives to what INEC has released today. Biodun Ajijola, let's get your view on some of the perspectives on the figures and some of the new dimension. We now know that Lagos has come above Kano State as the highest, that has the state with the highest number of registered voters. In 2015, it used to be Kano, but it's now Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, and thereabout. What comes out to you from these new figures INEC released today?
Thank you for having me. There's a lot that one can pick from this information, the information that is made available to us. And to be quite honest with you, it's actually good news, not bad news. For example, as you have mentioned some of the changes in registration figures in different states. But apart from that, I have to be honest with you, there has been a massive increase. We had a CVR, just like the one we had this year, or let's say last year, that ended last year, or was suspended last year. And we were only able to mobilize, after the post office and other activities done by INEC, 9,913,398 registered voters nationwide in the CVR 2014 after processes were done. But look at 2018, where we are now in 2019, the CVR figure has jumped to 14,283,734. That is an increase of 4,370,336 from the 2014 figure, post office and processing. And that is a 44.1% increase, almost 50% increase. So that shows us that the methods that were used by INEC in this CVR, despite there were some complaints here and there, you have to give it to INEC
right.
in this issue.
Sorry,
because
let me pause you for a moment. Let me pause you
for
for a moment, Biodun, because we need to take this break, and the network is not really doing us good. But the panel is here on the program, and we'll be dissecting these issues. We hear from Mr. G.T. Ogunye. There's some perspective to this one. We get legal perspective also to the Rivers matter right here on the program. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back.